Amar'e to the hole. Did you see that?
Stoudemire inside. Wow.
Game time, baby.
After being selected by the Phoenix Suns with the 9th overall pick in the 2002 NBA Draft, Amar'e Stoudemire went on to capture Rookie of the Year honors.
Stoudemire and one, and the rookie powers to the rack. Oh, my.
Mentally and physically, he was well prepared to compete in the NBA.
The 2003 NBA Rookie of the Year, Amar'e Stoudemire.
He was incredible. Just one of the best finishers our game has ever seen.
Stoudemire was an unstoppable combination of power and grace. He was a perfect fit for the fast-paced Suns teams whose playing style helped modernize the game.
I don't think the league's seen that. We've seen 6'11" be explosive, but not like that. He was a lightning bolt.
Into Amar'e. Oh, beautiful flush.
Welcome to the world of Amar'e Stoudemire. He takes it to a higher level.
Amar'e Stoudemire.
Oh, my
hits a
goodness.
three to tie the game.
You know, he was able to get in and out of pick and rolls with his feet, his quickness, explosiveness, incredible hands. He made my job a lot of fun and easy.
Arriving in New York in 2010, he was named an All-Star for the 6th time, while helping lead a resurgent Knicks team back to the postseason.
Full speed ahead, and Stoudemire the rejection.
Pass inside, Stoudemire. Wild shot, he puts it in.
He could score, rebound. I mean, this guy was one of the most electric athletes and scorers we had in the game at the time.
You were seeing an outstanding athlete.
Stat was one of the ones that grew into himself. His consistency to be great every night was different from day one. Yeah, he left this mark on his peers and the players that he played against.
Welcoming Amar'e to the Hall of Fame is the most spectacular entourage of the evening. Steve Nash, Grant Hill, Tracy McGrady, Rick Welts, Jerry Colangelo, and Mike D'Antoni. Please welcome Amar'e Stoudemire.
Wow. This is incredible. This is incredible. Whew. You know what, first off, I want to thank God, right? Because for me, I was the type of kid who said my prayers every night. I was always the one who obeyed my mom, my parents. I stayed very obedient as far as keeping those laws that God placed for me to follow, and I kept that to my heart, and that helped build my character in the midst of growing up in poverty. I want to thank the Naismith Basketball Hall of Fame, because without the Naismith Hall of Fame committee and the Board of Governors, I wouldn't be here today. And all the Naismith family for creating the game of basketball, right? This game has brought me so much, and it just gave me so much. I want to thank the fans, all my fans who watched me play, saw me flying through the air, attacking the rim. They appreciated me as well as I appreciate them. My teammates, all my teammates I played with in Phoenix, New York, Miami, they took upon my leadership. I followed their leadership. We happened to build a great camaraderie with each other and build something special in basketball. All the coaches took time out to dedicate their life to basketball, spending time away from their families and really teaching us the game of basketball. As a high school player, I needed that. I needed that type of leadership. Organizations I played for the Phoenix Suns. I was drafted by the great Jerry Colangelo. Rick Welch was the president of operations at the time. And playing for Phoenix as a rookie was important for me. As a high school player, growing up in Florida, you know, you go into the NBA, and it's a different world. And to have an organization that understood that and really brought me in and really molded me as a basketball player helped me to become who I am today. And my basketball journey started back when I was in Lake Wales, Florida. And this journey is a journey of perseverance. Persevering through life, and also basketball was a serious journey for me. My dad, blessed memory, took me to my first basketball game I saw my cousin, play a high school game. He caught this lob, hung on the rim, and my dad was like, "That's your cousin." And from that point on, I knew I wanted to play basketball. I fell in love with the game. My first basketball I got was from my mom. It was a gift. And that basketball became my best friend, became my therapist. As I traveled through different cities and states, we traveled through Lake Wells, Florida, where it all started. Went from Newburgh, New York, to Port Jervis, New York, to Atlanta, Georgia, to Winter Haven, Florida. And despite the tribulations that we had to face throughout that time, I had my basketball with me. So whenever there was issues or situations I had to deal with, I would go to a court with my basketball, and I would play one-on-one with the imaginary Michael Jordan. I was just engulfed in the game, and it became my therapist. I didn't start playing organized basketball until I was 13 years old. The Orlando Magic became an expansion team, and they created this program called the Junior Magic. When the Junior Magic came about, and we had this game in Lake Wales, I played my first game as a 13-year-old. I got the ball, I took off, I dunked it, the crowd went crazy as if they'd never seen a 13-year-old dunk on someone before. And from that point on, my name started buzzing around my local neighborhood. Then I started traveling, playing YBOA basketball tournaments, playing AAU basketball only in Florida. So now I'm 13, 14 years old, and now my name is being known around the state of Florida. But then I started traveling even more nationally, playing in national tournaments. And I wanted to take this sport to another level. So in high school, when I got to high school my freshman year, I started to go down a path I didn't want to go down. I started hanging out with the wrong crowd, and I went to my JV coach and said, "Coach, man, I got to get out of here. I can't stick around." And for a 15-year-old to make that kind of decision was not easy for me. All my friends and family was in Lake Wales. So my coach said, "Hey, Stat, you got two options. You got Oak Hill Academy or you got Mount Zion." So I said, "Well," he said, "Oak Hill Academy is an all-boys school." And I'm like, "Oh, okay." And then he said, "You have Mount Zion Academy where Tracy McGrady went." So I said, "Coach, hey, isn't that where T-Mac, didn't he go out of high school?" He's like, "Yeah, he went out of high school." I'm like, "Well, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to do that." So that's why you see T-Mac here today, because he was an inspiration for me to have the idea mindset coming from the same hometown that one like me can now take that jump to the NBA from high school. So from that point on, when I went to Mount Zion, it was a serious moment. We had basketball training, weight training, before practice, after practice. And by the time I went back to my hometown in Lake Wales, I was a basketball phenom. I was doing things in the area that I didn't think I could do. And by the time my junior year, I became nationally known. I was one of the top players in the country. And even in high school, trying to make decisions as a high school player without my family being as stable as I would like for them to be, I had to make those decisions on my own. So I traveled from different schools trying to figure out the best way to navigate. And when you're the top player in the country, you have everyone pulling at you, trying to get something from you. And as a 16-year-old, you're not really sure what all this is and what everyone's trying to do. You're trying to play the game. You're trying to reach your full potential. You're trying to go to the NBA. So I had these situations where I would travel from school to school and figure out how to really navigate this space. It was a moment where people thought maybe he's not stable, but no one knew what I was dealing with as a person. So my basketball and trying to achieve my goals were always close to my heart. So now I go to my senior year in high school, and now I'm, McDonald's All-American, winning Michael Jordan Capital Classic Game MVP, verbally committed to the University of Memphis with Coach John Calipari, but I decided to take my talents to the NBA. So when I entered the draft, I had a pre-draft workout with a couple of teams, worked out in Phoenix, had a brilliant workout. I felt great about that, and I was drafted 9th to the Phoenix Suns as a high schooler. And at that time, Jerry Colangelo was the owner, Brian Colangelo was the GM, Rick Welts was there, and so I was ready to try to take on this journey of the NBA as a high schooler, a true high schooler. And mind you, I played 2 years of high school basketball. I played my freshman year and my senior year. So in the midst of all this turmoil, I always stayed focused and I stayed locked in, and I persevered through all of it. So after playing 2 years of high school basketball, I take my journey to the NBA. When I got to the NBA, I started learning the game. When you're a high school player, you're 6'10", you're athletic, coach like, yeah, go out there and play, you got it, and you just go out there and do what you know how to do. But when I got to the NBA, I started learning the game. All the players that was there before me, my veteran guys, Penny Hardaway, Tom Gugliotta, Stephon Marbury, these guys that were there my first year, I would ask these guys questions. And I'm the type player that's going to ask executives questions also. I'm speaking to Eddie Johnson, who was a color commentator. I'm talking to the team security, Kevin Tucker. I'm hanging out with Scott Williams, these older veteran guys that would teach me how to be a professional and how to really live and form myself into a basketball player, but also into a professional. I happened to play 8 years in Phoenix, became a 5-time All-Star, and I faced some adversity once again. I averaged 37 points in the Western Conference Finals. My career is like, whew, taking off big time. The following summer, I come back in training camp. We're trying to win a championship. Me, Steve, Sean, the guys, we're trying to win a championship. I go into training camp, and I get the news that I got to have a microfracture surgery. I had no idea what that even meant. At that time, microfracture surgery is like, it's called retirement. And so it was very difficult for me to deal with that because I was on a trajectory to be on a path to be with the greats. And I had to sit out a full year, and it was excruciating pain to recover from that. And I'm hearing all the news, all right, Stoudemire, he may not be the same, it's over for him, and this and that. So once again, perseverance stepped in. I followed the training staff. Most of the medical and training staff is here tonight. I followed their leadership. I trained perfectly. I did everything I could do to get back to 100%. I came back, first team All-NBA, played all 82 games, and we took off from there. After having such a brilliant time and a great moment in history in Phoenix, playing under Coach Mike D'Antoni with the 7 seconds or less offense, we had so much fun. We changed the game. The game was so easy for us. We happened to adapt to the strategy of Mike D'Antoni. We started playing positionless basketball, and we just went off to the races. After a while, I took my talents to New York. I went to New York City, right? I went back to where it kind of all started, right? Because I was raised in New York, and I was able to go back home. As a kid, I watched the Knicks play the Bulls, and watching that whole rivalry throughout my childhood years, and to be back in New York was special for me. And what I wanted to do is really establish myself and really show the world my full talent. When I got to New York, Coach D'Antoni was there as well, and I was able to then now have a coach that knew my game and allowed me to play my game. And so in New York, in the Garden, there's nothing like it. When you hear MVP chants every night, they're chanting your name, the arena's rocking. New York is the #1 place to play, and I knew that as a player. But before I got there, no one else wanted to go to New York, so that's why I was like, the Knicks are back, and we're going to do this. And so it's good to see those guys winning that championship this year, 2026. So after playing my time in New York and having this great run there, I took my talents down to Miami, when the team that with D. Wade and Pat Riley and the guys down there, went back to Florida. And at the end of it all, I wanted to go back to a place where I had a special connection to. I was learning for 20 years prior, secretly, and I was learning Torah. I was learning the Bible, the biblical understanding of history, and I wanted to go to a place where I can live and also play. So my last game in Miami, I took my talents overseas to Israel, and I played in Israel, and I played in Jerusalem. And so I'm there with my family, and now I go from flying on private planes to 5-star hotels to now taking the bus. Now we're playing in smaller arenas, but I was there for a deeper purpose and a reason. And my family and I truly enjoyed our time there. I was able to win my first championship in Jerusalem, and then I was able to now go back for my last game as a player to Maccabi Tel Aviv. And I lived in Tel Aviv on the Mediterranean Sea, living the dream. It was great, it was beautiful, had a great time. And I finished my career with a championship and the finals MVP. So that was, the journey take you on paths and take you down lanes that you don't quite see in your early years, but I'm very blessed to have been able to persevere throughout my career and really be able to finish my career with a championship. My family, I wouldn't be without my family. You know, my children, Amar'e, Asada, Elijah, Zoe, Noah. Without my babies, I know there's 6 of them. Without my babies, my children are my heart. Everything I do is for them. They experienced my career since I was 21. I had my daughter, and my kids experienced my career and saw what it took for me. I know I was away at times, and when I come home, I'm recovering, and then I go to practice early, and I stay after, and I'm doing all this extra work. But you guys were there. I took you everywhere with me, and I'm glad that you're here to see the end of it all, right? You're seeing the final step. And to my wife, I know she's from London, and I know this is a different type of world for you, but this is basketball royalty, sweetheart. This is where it is. You know what I'm saying? And so thank you for being very supportive and being there with me and experienced this with me. To all my friends and family who grew up with me from kindergarten all the way up to now, who watched me play the game of basketball, who've been with me, who've been through the journey, who watched my journey, who watched my growth, right? Because as a kid growing up in poverty, you're a little rough on the edges. But as life go on and as you learn and as you try to develop, you also watch the growth of me. So I truly appreciate that. And in closing, the most important aspect that I can give that I experienced, when you're growing up in an environment where it's not always easy to make it out of, the most important factor for me was, first of all, stay out of trouble. That was the first and foremost thing for me, to stay out of trouble, stay positive, stay focused, stay meaningful, and always keep in mind that perseverance, no matter what one goes through, you can persevere through anything. Thank you.
Let's go.